This week, Zac Efron tackles the climate crisis. Doctors urge India's Prime Minister to promote a vegan diet. Maggie Baird's organization Support and Feed is feeding children vegan meals. And Roger Federer launches vegan tennis sneakers. This is Live Kindly News. Remember to hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to turn on notifications, and leave your comments below. New environmental documentary Endgame 2050 imagines how the world will look in 3 decades' time if humans don't change their behavior. Filmmaker Sofia Pineda Ochoa, MD, directed the film, which features experts, scientists, and animal rights activist and musician Moby.
Because right now, you think things are fine. I think things are fine, and I can guarantee you they are not.
The film begins by imagining the future in a short 15-minute fictional segment, based in 2050. The clip explores how ordinary people are coping with future major man-made disasters, like methane gas explosions, as well as food and water shortages, fishless oceans, and civil unrest. Spoiler, the human race is not doing so well. In this depiction of what our future may possibly look like, mental health problems caused by ongoing environmental crises are on the rise, and suicide attempts are frequent. Some are in complete denial, with one militant group taking hostages over United Nations, quote, lies that there are no fish in the oceans.
They say they will release the hostages once the government reopens and restocks the fish market, something that experts have reiterated is literally impossible.
Experts already know now in 2020 that fishless oceans could be in our not-too-distant future. A number of ocean scientists knew this a decade ago.
Studies have concluded that if we keep fishing the way we've been fishing in the past, we will collapse many or most fish populations by the middle of the century.
The United Nations revealed in 2010 that unless fish stocks are allowed to recover and fishing fleets are reduced, there will be no fish left.
Like, if you care about the ocean, you have to stop eating animals that live in the ocean. It's so self-evident.
It's not only the fishing industry that needs to change. In 2018, climate scientists warned that a 50% reduction in the meat we eat is essential by 2050. With business as usual, greenhouse gas emissions in the livestock sector could increase by 58%. Reducing animal agriculture is one of the key messages of Endgame 2050.
A mass global shift away from animal foods is urgently needed and would have a significant and almost immediate impact in addressing our climate crisis.
Pineda Ochoa said in a statement sent to Live Kindly, "I think many environmental films sugarcoat our reality and the extent of changes needed. They sometimes don't want to make people too uncomfortable, but I think that does a grave disservice to the audience and the planet." Pineda Ochoa says the film's goal is to clearly lay out the dire situation at present and encourage action and responsibility.
So what can you and I actually do as individuals that would make a difference? Probably more than you think.
She said, "I think we owe it to the planet, other species, and ourselves to not bury our heads in the sand." New Jersey just became the first state to make climate change education mandatory in school. In early June, the Board of Education adopted Next Generation Science Standards to the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. These new revisions include teaching climate change across all subjects. This includes science, social studies, the arts, physical education, computer science, career readiness, and life literacy. The new curriculum takes effect in the 2021-2022 school year. First Lady of New Jersey Tammy Murphy, wife of Governor Phil Murphy, spearheaded the effort. Murphy is a charter member of former Vice President Al Gore's Climate Reality Action Fund. She said in a news release, "This generation of students will feel the effects of climate change more than any other. It is critical that every student is provided an opportunity to study and understand the climate crisis through a comprehensive, interdisciplinary lens." Coming up, Sydney, Australia now runs on 100% renewable energy. Denmark is also tackling global warming. The country passed an ambitious law that makes it illegal to not act on climate change. The country's new law, called the Climate Act, aims to ensure that Denmark will reduce its carbon emissions by 70% in 2030, compared to 1990 levels. The law also aims to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. The Climate Act sets milestone targets that tackle global warming. Every 5 years, the Danish government must set legally binding targets with a 10-year perspective. Denmark's climate minister Dan Jorgensen wrote on Twitter, "The Climate Act is finally passed in the parliament. A good day for the climate." Jorgensen told the BBC that the government will be held accountable for failing to reach these targets. He said, "If you're not on track, the parliament can say, well, sorry, you're not on track, so you don't get a majority. In theory, that will lead to a government having to step down." In Australia, Sydney is now powered by 100% renewable energy. The city's Lord Mayor, Clover Moore, made the announcement in a video posted to Twitter on July 1st.
Taking action on climate change has been the major priority of the city since 2008. And so it is very exciting here in 2020 to say today the city is powered by 100% renewable electricity.
The city negotiated a $60 million 10-year contract with Flow Power to provide the city with 100% renewable energy. Sydney will now use locally sourced clean energy from wind and solar farms. According to the Lord Mayor, the switch will save the city $500,000 each year over the next decade and reduce emissions by 20,000 tons each year, which equates to nearly 4,350 cars off the road. Zac Efron stars in the new Netflix series Down to Earth. In the series, Efron is on the hunt for solutions to the climate crisis.
We are traveling around the world to find some new perspectives on some very old problems.
I can't believe this place exists.
Food, water, and energy are all the main staples for modern life.
Guys, we're going to Paris!
We're going to meet some top eco-innovators.
The former High School Musical star travels the world with wellness expert Darren Olean, learning about sustainability in different cultures. The duo visit a number of countries. Their first stop was Iceland, where they toured Blue Lagoon and learned about how energy from volcanoes and waterfalls are harnessed to help power the country's homes. Efron and Olean also travel to Punta Mona, Costa Rica. There, they visit the self-sufficient ecological communities of the Punta Mona Center for Regenerative Design and Botanical Studies. Stephen Brooks, the founder of the center, is the duo's guide.
Mimicking nature didn't need anyone to do anything. It did itself. It balanced itself. So that's why in permaculture, we really thrive on diversity.
They also visit Sardinia and Peru, just to name a few. And they enjoyed plant-based food at Deliciously Ella, a vegan deli in London.
We need to start rethinking how we consume everything, from our food to our power.
Whoa, look at that. That's Mother Earth. Dude, that's some power.
Change has to start somewhere.
Doctors in India are urging Prime Minister Narendra Modi to recommend a vegan diet amid the coronavirus pandemic. In a letter sent to the Prime Minister, the doctors pointed to the fact that zoonotic diseases aren't endemic to wet markets. The letter was backed by animal welfare groups People for Animals, Mercy for Animals, and Ahimsa Trust. Gauri Maleki, an activist from PFA, told Times of India, while COVID-19 has been traced to a meat market in Wuhan, the conditions in such places are similar to any meat production facility and market in India. In light of this, the letter also called on the Food Safety and Standards Authority to promote plant-based foods in its Eat Right campaign, the country's initiative to encourage healthy eating. Coming up, Roger Federer launches vegan tennis sneakers. This doctor has rescued over 1,000 dogs. Susanna Somali is a clinical pathologist, a mother of 2, and a hero to the animals. She's been working on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic, while simultaneously running Pejoton Animal Shelter in Jakarta. It is one of Indonesia's biggest animal shelters. Since starting the shelter, Somali estimates that she has saved more than 1,000 dogs. With many people unable to work due to the ongoing pandemic, more animals are turning up at the shelter than ever. She explained, "Many people are out of work and cannot afford to have pets. Many people can't go home because of the lockdown. People with COVID-19 are being put in isolation. Meanwhile, their dogs are starving." According to the doctor, as many as 10 new dogs have been turning up to the shelter every day. The organization is currently struggling amid the coronavirus outbreak. It now relies completely on donations to survive, but many don't have the money to give because of the pandemic. Despite this, Somali is determined to keep saving animals and inspiring others to carry on doing the same. She said, "I will find a way somehow. I cannot quit. I must have strength so I can provide strength to others." Last fall, tennis legend Roger Federer invested in Swiss running apparel brand On. Now, he's launched a new tennis-inspired sneaker with the brand, and it's vegan. Dubbed the Roger, the vegan shoes are the Swiss professional tennis players' first foray into sneaker designing.
So I like the shoe a lot. We wanted to make it very lightweight,
This
comfortable.
is so light.
It's very light. Exactly.
Made with vegan leather, the sleek, white unisex sneakers have clean lines and a minimalist design. They also feature the brand's bubble-like cloud-tech soles and signature speed board. The latter is a liquid-injected plate of thermoplastic polymer. It's placed in the soles of the shoes to improve a runner's agility. While the shoes feature performance technology, Federer says they weren't made for the court.
I could use what I've learned from the last 20 years plus on the tennis court. How could we incorporate that in a lifestyle tennis-inspired sneaker for the street?
The first 1,000 pairs of the Roger will be released through an online raffle via On's website. Federer said more opportunities to purchase the shoes would be possible in the future. After successfully providing tens of thousands of vegan meals to COVID frontline workers and other vulnerable groups, Los Angeles-based Support and Feed launched a summer campaign to support hungry families. Last Thursday, the organization donated 500 plant-based meals to the Boys and Girls Club of Metro LA. The meal donation was sponsored by LIVEKINDLY.
We are here at Sage in Pasadena picking up 500 meals today that we have so many volunteers driving to Boys and Girls Clubs all over Los Angeles. 5 different clubs receiving 500 meals today.
Maggie Baird, the founder of Support and Feed, told LIVEKINDLY she chose to partner with the Boys and Girls Club of Metro LA because of the work it does to support the local communities. She said, "They do incredible work in their communities and are helping so many children and families, and we just want to support their mission, be an ally to their work, and provide them with healthy plant-based meals. It's really an honor to work with them." Popular Los Angeles vegan restaurant, Sage Plant-Based Bistro, provided the vegan meals. Each meal featured a healthy burrito, brownie, and tortilla chips. The restaurant's owner, operator, and head chef, Chef Molly Engelhart, told LIVEKINDLY that providing healthy meals to those who would have otherwise not had access to them is a cause she strongly supports. She said, "Having a safe space to play and healthy food to eat is vital in the child development process. These organizations make sure that is happening for many young children experiencing insecurities." Baird says she's humbled by the outpouring of support. She said, "Knowing that we're feeding so many people plant-based meals, hearing the comments of how delicious and nourishing the food is to their souls, and helping small businesses stay open has been very rewarding." To learn more about the initiative or make a donation, visit supportandfeed.com. That's it for today. Will you be watching Zac Efron's new Netflix climate series? Let us know in the comments below. As always, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll see you again next week for LIVEKINDLY News.